and then the food gets to your stomach, and you can have insufficient stomach acid because you're eating in this stress state. Lots of things contribute to insufficient stomach acid, but I would say in my practice for the last several years, if there's one thing that I see every day, it's that issue.
Hey, what's up, family? I am Rachel, and I am one half of Two Crazy Ketos. And today I have the privilege of sitting down with Kristin Rowell, who just came off the stage at the Hard to Kill Summit here in Omaha, Nebraska. And something that you said really resonated with me, and that was eating in a hurry.
Yes.
Okay, so you are an amazing natural bodybuilder. Like you have been in marathon, you've been a marathon runner. Yes. You've also been a lawyer.
Yes.
So you've had a heightened schedule. Yep. And I think that that's something that a lot of people can relate to. You're eating as fast as possible, right?
All the time. So many of us do it.
And what is the problem with that?
Yeah, so the primary problem that causes is you're really creating all sorts of downstream calamity on your digestive system. So our digestive system is a north to south process, and it starts really in our brain. Our brain has to get prepared to know that we're going to eat so that our brain can send signals to our salivary enzymes to be able to be produced, so that can help with the chemical breakdown of our food. And then the other problem that happens when we're eating too fast is we're not mechanically breaking down our food. Right. So all we're doing when we're digesting food is mechanically and chemically breaking it down. So if you're not chewing enough,
oh my goodness,
and then you're also, on top of not chewing enough, you're eating in a rush so that you don't have the right salivary enzymes and the chemicals that you need, then it creates this calamity, and then the food gets to your stomach, and you can have insufficient stomach acid because you're eating in this stress state. Lots of things contribute to insufficient stomach acid, but I would say in my practice for the last several years, if there's one thing that I see every day, it's that issue.
Okay, so it was so bad in my life, and this is a generational thing. So my father was a military guy, and they were taught you have to, pork it down.
Yes.
Right? I mean, I think he could, have soup with a spork because he could eat so fast. And I have had to take so many embarrassing measures, including only eating with chopsticks.
I've done it.
At some point
I've done
to
it.
slow myself down.
Or eat with your left hand if you're right-handed.
Oh my goodness.
Switch the hand.
Because I know that, you would make yourself sick no matter what you're eating, no matter, proper human diet or not. If you're eating too fast, what about the process of chewing?
Yeah.
How can we slow that down?
I mean, it sounds crazy to think that this is such a basic concept that we all do every day, but that we really need to talk about it because it's literally creating a new habit and breaking an old one. So I have to count my chews every time I eat, and I literally count to 25 or 30 before I let myself swallow. And it makes a huge difference. And eventually, if you set a lot of intention around it and you count and count and count, you eventually will start to do it as a habit.
Right.
So right now, because a lot of us eat too fast, and you've been eating fast for whatever your age is, your entire life, it's going to require a lot of intention around mealtime for a period of time before it becomes an unconscious competency, is what I like to say.
Well, and you know what? We are starting to eat so much better, high quality food. Takes longer to cook. I mean, I have to have Joe be smoking meat for hours. So it's honestly like a way to honor the good food. We're not eating Hot Pockets anymore. This is not like 90 seconds to dinner. So let's go ahead and slow down and savor it and honor the cook a little bit.
Exactly. And I say that mealtime should really be kind of more around ceremony than around something that we just have to check off our list and move on to the next thing. We really want to wait until we have the time to devote to it. And so, I'll read sometimes while I'm eating a meal, or I'll play on my phone and do social media while I'm eating a meal. But my primary activity is focusing on the food and picturing my digestive organs actually accepting the food and having it work through my system correctly.
Well, and thankfully, thanks to this way of eating, if I can't eat right now, I can fast.
Exactly.
I can wait. It's not like I'm dealing with the sugar crash that I used to have, where it's like, oh my gosh, I have to eat right now. And even, lunchtime can be a time for getting errands done. Nobody said you have to eat, during lunchtime.
Yeah, I'll take my dogs on a walk instead.
Yeah. I mean, get some sunshine.
Yep.
The other thing that really spoke to me that we definitely do not talk about enough, but I think every parent is concerned about, is the bathroom habits of their children.
Yes.
And it was so powerful. Can you share a little bit about how you helped your own niece?
Yes.
In this area?
So one of the things that I see, and this comes up, not just family, but lots of my clients, is they complain that their children have some measure of constipation.
Yes.
It could be that they don't go for days, it could be that it's hours, but it at some point becomes some sort of family issue because either one kid or multiple children have an issue with this. So the first two things I look for with kids is I don't immediately say they need more fiber. The first two things I look for is the child drinking enough water and electrolytes?
Right.
Because we need that hydration, we need those minerals. That's a very important requirement for being able to move stool through our system. And then the other one is, are they eating enough essential fatty acids? If there's one macronutrient that kids just seem woefully inadequate on, it's really good healthy fats. So I usually get them to add avocado. I'll sneak avocado oil into smoothies. I'll sneak MCT oil into smoothies, but something to get that lubrication of those oils into their organs so that they actually can move through their system and not feel constipation.
And boy, you called out those snack foods because you're absolutely right. How am I going to be able to pass a big ball of goldfish crackers?
Exactly.
I mean, there's nowhere for it to go.
No.
I mean,
and
that
so
would be painful for us.
Right. So we need the raw materials in order to move that stuff. What our body needs to move things through our intestines is number one, essential fatty acids, number two, hydration, and then number three, some measure of some kind of bulk and fiber if you need fiber. Some people can get away with eating very little fiber. Some people need more. Everyone that I treat in my practice is bio-individual. So it really comes down to how toxic is your body or how high functioning is your metabolism, how well does your liver work, how toxic is your liver. So we have to go into those on an individual basis. But I'd say the two primary things that I say to all parents is make sure your kids are drinking enough water with electrolytes and make sure they have enough healthy fats, including oils like avocado oils and things. And then if I could say one more thing about this, I really encourage parents to not use Miralax with their children.
Yes.
It's never been approved for use with children, and parents use it all the time because doctors tell them to, and it's really unfortunate in my opinion. It's pretty criminal. So no Miralax for kids.
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you can tell by looking at you, you value fitness, and you always have. What began your love for running, first of all?
So I started running in law school as a way to relieve stress because I knew that law school was going to be very stressful and I knew that lawyering would be stressful. And so I decided to sign up for and run my first marathon, my first semester of law school, which is insane. I realize that now, and I thought I'd do one and check it off the bucket list. And then I did one and I was hooked. And so over the course of my running career, I've run 25 marathons, and the fastest one of which I ran after I fell and broke my right leg in 10 places.
Oh my
and
gracious.
Had 22 pieces of metal put into my leg. And then I had that metal taken out a year later, and then I ran my fastest marathon 10 months later. So I say that was sort of a gift because it really was the springboard for me to learn about the ketogenic and low carb diet.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to understand why someone who had strength trained as long as I had, who had run a lot, could actually fall and shatter their legs so badly.
Right.
And so I really had to get curious about, is my body actually absorbing all of these amazing nutrients from my food? And that's really what started me on my journey to ketogenic and low carb. So it really started as a way of a stress relief, and then I just fell in love with it.
Now, people say you can't run if you're keto fueled, right? I mean, that's a challenge.
False.
and you're proving that wrong. How has it changed you as a runner in actuality? What is the truth about what it's done for?
I love this. I love this question because I'll just give this primary example because everyone will understand this who's a runner. So I ran a marathon in the spring of 2012 where I was at the height of my carb running, I would call it. And I had to have five goos, those goo packets.
Oh yeah.
I had to take one every 5 miles just so that I wouldn't crash, so that I could sustain my energy. So what happened is I ran well, I crossed the finish line, and then I was in the biffy for probably half an hour. That kind of sugar on your gut is so awful. It wreaked so much havoc on my digestive system, so I was miserable digestively. And then fast forward, I broke my leg the next year, so I was rehabbing that for a year. Fast forward to my next marathon in 2015 where I ran that keto. The night before that race, I had steak, asparagus, and butter. And then the morning of the race, all I had was 1 packet of coconut butter and I had no goos or anything.
Are you
And I ran
serious?
my fastest marathon. I ran a 3:19, and that was 5 minutes faster than my carb fueled race. And I felt excellent. I did exogenous ketones as my drink, as my electrolytes, but I felt fantastic. And when you start a race on fuel, this is what I tell people. Anyone who knows about marathons, who has run a marathon, says, oh God, you get to mile 20 and you hit that wall, you hit the wall.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what's actually happening when you hit the wall? Your body's running out of glucose. Because you can run for about 2 hours on glucose. You can run for 40 hours on fat. So it's a way more efficient fuel source. So I started out at the start line of that marathon as a fat-fueled runner, so I never bonked. I never hit the wall. I didn't need goose. And I finished and felt fantastic. So
wow.
Big change, big change.
I mean, that's huge. I mean, the proof is in the race. And as you're passing everyone else that's like the bottoming out, and you're just like, yep, with steady energy.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
The other thing that you talked about that I thought was so important was, choosing a probiotic, and who may need that. Could you talk about that a little bit more?
Sure.
Because a lot of us are making choices like just on the fly at the shelf in the grocery store. And I think we can, spend a lot of money on products that are not going to be bioavailable for us.
For sure. So one of the things I say is not everyone needs a probiotic. So I think probiotics are really good in the circumstance of people that have some small intestine dysbiosis. And so we really need to get that bacteria back into balance. And so I also say probiotics, you want to kind of go low and slow because you don't want to overwhelm the system with too much bacteria. All probiotics are different strains of really healthy bacteria. So because we know that the bacteria in our gut are actually what's going to drive our moods, what's going to drive our cravings, all of those things, it's important to consider using them if you have signs like this. Crave sweets all of the time, binging or uncontrolled eating, excessive appetite, crave bread, pasta, or noodles. You feel spacey or unreal. Spaciness is a really good sign of small intestine dysbiosis. All of those things may be symptoms that you want to take a probiotic. And then the tip that I give people is when you're comparing all of these amazing labels, look for ones that actually show the strain and the species down to the actual species. So you want to look for the actual name of the probiotic, meaning the bacillus, Lactobacillus, Bifidobacterium, Bacillus subtilis, Saccharomyces boulardii. These are all different strains of bacteria. And then look for the ones that have the numbers and the letters after that, because it's getting more specific and granular about the type of probiotic they're actually using in their product.
Wow. Now you are available for people to book appointments with you to help them and to be partner with them on this health journey. They do not have to do it alone. So where would they be able to reach you?
Yeah, thank you for that question. So my website is energeticallyefficient.com, and on the top right-hand page of the website, there's a Book Now page, and you can book a free 20-minute discovery call with me. I offer free calls to see if we're a good fit for me to work with you, and then I have different programs, one-on-one coaching. I have some group courses that I offer, and so that would be the great place to start.
And when would you say that, if someone's like, do I need coaching or not? What is, some questions that they should ask themselves if they think, okay, do I need to take that next step and maybe have a personal coach?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'd say one of the things that I'd say is a common denominator for people I talk to who are ready for coaching is I always say people get to this place where they're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Ooh, that's good.
And if they feel like they haven't been able, for whatever reason, to get themselves out of that place, now it may be time to hire an accountability coach to help you and teach you. And if you really want to learn about your body, I teach a lot about how the body works. I teach about the why. Anyone can put you on a diet, but I really teach about the why because I want people to feel empowered. I tell people, I teach them how to become lean and fit for life. I want them to not need me at some point. So I want to have done my job so that they graduate from my program and then they can go serve and teach others. That's really what I'm here for.
Wow, thank you so much for your time. Well, if you like videos like these, take a look at some other videos that we have right over here. Or take a look at our latest video, which I'm going to place right over here. But whether you head this way or you head this way, don't forget to head this way. Subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon, and that way every single time we get to hang out with a superstar, you'll be alerted to it. And until next time, bye.